Good evening, TCH Live, and welcome to Texas Card House Dallas for tonight's final table. This is the big one. Saturday night, a big final table. I'm RJ Dupree with my man, Mr. Eric Van Loosen. What's up, buddy?
Not a whole lot, man. Got a good final table and some big prizes up top tonight. So excited about 200, I think 9-person field today.
That's right, 2-0-something for the entries.
205, 209.
We'll take a look at those here in just a second.
Zeus has the cards in the air. We better get to it because Zeus is fast.
Let's get to it. Yeah, the entries were just a little over 200, so that put second place in the 5-digit club. Second place is over 10,000 tonight, over 15,000 up top. We're down to our final 9 here at Texas Card House Dallas. Hand number 1, it's already underway.
We've already got a hijack poker mystery card. Our 6 seat Alex, he's going to raise it up with an ace in the hole. That's all we know so far.
Going to raise it up to 80,000. That's a min click here, starting out at the final table. Blinds are 20,000, 40,000 with that 40,000 big blind ante. Alex going to raise it up and take it down. No resistance there, so he'll take down the blinds and antes. There's a good look at those payouts.
Here we go. Yeah, $61,500 is the prize pool. We guaranteed 30 and doubled that sucker, so awesome there. 205 was the number, 205 entries. There you go. First player out's going to get 1,500, but they're all shooting for that top prize of 15,295.
Very nice. Plenty of real cash to win tonight. And this, the big one, right here at Texas Card House Dallas.
Raise 105.
This is Steven in the 5 seat. He's going to raise it up 105 now with pocket 4s.
And not the first time it's happened, RJ, but we got a power couple at the table.
Power couple.
We got Paige and Tourney. The power couple, excited. They both made the final table, so no matter what happens, money's coming home.
That's right, and Paige has a lot of chips there. She is in the 4 seat. So it's always fun to root on the ladies when they get on TCH Live, and we have one tonight. As you can look, there's those chip stacks. Mr. Charles in the 9 seat has a chip lead at 1.36. Paige right on his tail, 1.33 million. Steven also with 1.3. Mickey with 1.2. So a whole lot of players coming into this final table, already over $1 million.
But we do have some shorties, blinds at 20,000, 40,000, 40,000. So, you know, somebody already under the 10 big blind mark and a couple players right there.
Yeah, I think
near 10 big blinds.
Demo is pretty short, and he is in the big blind currently in the 3 seat. We've seen Demo a few times here on TCH Live, make some final tables.
Mr. DeMond, we like having him on. He chats with us quite a bit. We're going to get to the chat here in a minute. We had to let our mouse charge. Our mouse died, so we can't see the chat at the moment. But I saw Mr. Adam joining us, and Lego and Ashley, who was in the tournament earlier. So shout out to all the folks that played today and helped build up this huge prize pool of $61,500. Let's keep this up every weekend.
It's summertime. World Series of Poker is in the air, and so is Tournament Poker right here in Dallas. You don't have to go to Vegas for some massive payouts. This one, the greatest weekly tournament in all the land, you can play in every Saturday right here at Texas Card House Dallas. And we had a nice field today. Steven getting a steady dose of small pairs here. Opened up a couple hands ago with pocket 4s. This time, upgrade, pocket 5s.
Definitely seen him on our final tables before, so glad to see Steven back on.
Min click here from Steven up to 80,000. Tony in the 7 seat. The gentleman of the aforementioned power couple tonight.
Oh, man, Mickey's down in arm tonight. He's in a sling, but no stopping him from making a final table today.
Sling, no problem. Paige looking down at pocket 6s here in the big blind. She'll make the call. We'll see a flop. Queen 3-10.
Yeah, these are spots always interesting when you've got those small pairs and you don't land. A lot of ace jacks, ace kings also don't land, so she could be still good, but she is just going to let Steven have this one. He's in position.
Position matters. You always hate getting a small pair in that big blind because you know 90% of the time that's exactly what happens. You complete, see that flop, then you either get crazy or just let her go.
There you go. Matt, Surge, and Demo, all the short stacks, they're all either on the button or behind it. Gonna look at some of these free hands and hope they can find a spot.
Right next to each other in the 1, 2, and 3 seats. So the button has just made it through there. So we might see. It'll be interesting to see the action while those three are sitting over there in that corner short stack. Not going to stop Mickey from raising here. He's going to open up with King 10, 85,000. Mr. Charles going to make the call with Ace 10. Matt in the 1 seat with a premium. He's looking at Ace Queen. That's good enough for a shove, indeed.
Yeah, I've been seeing Matt a lot at our tournaments lately.
So Matt has ripped it. He's all in for 355,000.
In a good spot against these holdings. We all know about the Ace Queen on this final table here, but he's definitely got the best of it right now, and he's all in for 355,000.
Yeah, last week at the even bigger one, Ace Queen was the Reaper.
It really was.
Living up to the name.
Start your engines.
All right, Matt's ripped it all in, 355,000. Charles has come into this final table as our chip leader, so he could take a shot at it if he wants, but chooses not to. He's in the muck. Matt's going to take it down.
Yeah, and what a good feeling there. Gets a full double pretty much without any resistance. Just takes it down pre. There was some dead money out there, and he had just enough to get those players to fold.
About a 90% double, just taking the blinds, antes, and the raise and a call there.
You're just hoping you didn't run into the bigger pairs or the Ace King. That seems to happen to a lot of folks when they finally look down at that Ace Queen at a final table and get it in. Matt's able to dodge that one and got some chips now.
Yeah, nice pot there for Matt, and that'll give him the advantage over the 2 players to his left.
All right, we got Lee Kwan Z. Say, get it, Demo. We got Reese Muffin saying, betting the house on Mickey to win this whole thing. Mitchell A.
What's up, Mitchell
giving us
A?
a shout out. What's going on, Mr. Mitchell?
80.
Don't mess with Mama's button. She's going to take it down. And we mentioned Zeus is a speed demon there. That is Mr. Zeus in the box tonight doing the dealing for us. Definitely one of our best. It's just fun to watch those cards come off his hands.
My man can spin them.
And he's been on this final table before as a player. Binked a nice one a while back. I think he finished 3rd in one of our bigger events.
Okay.
Got himself a couple weeks vacation. Nice prize a couple years back. Hadn't been playing as much. Been focusing on working and dealing, but
85.
All right, Mickey under the gun here. He's got pocket 10s. He's going to bump it up. 85,000 here.
Raise. 175.
Min raise and a tickle here. Charles is going to 3-bet. 3 bets to the tune of 175,000. He's got pocket 8s. Wow, wow, wee, wow. Running low on 10s here.
Your hand's not going to get much better than that with, what, 7, 8 big blinds?
Yeah, Demo's going to rip it
there
here.
You go.
Imagine. He is in there. He's all in for 305,000.
He likes his tanks.
It'll be interesting to see what Mickey does here. After he raised under the gun.
You got one of Charles' 8s we could see there was gone.
And Charles has 3-bet Mickey.
Mickey looking for a count across the table, but he's definitely wanting to look right there to his left. You can see him doing that.
Good old-fashioned heap of mess right here.
A little lean back, another peek down below. It's like, man, if I re-jam, what happens if Charles has got me beat?
So Mickey's going to throw 10s in the muck. Charles is probably going to have to make an easy call here. Charles is going to find the bad news. He is well behind. Eights versus tens, but
The cardinal sin from the 8 seat over there tells everybody what he folded. Demo says, I don't want to hear that.
Queen Jack 5, no help for Charles.
He is in the lead, though. The 10s are safe. Can he dodge the river?
Gonna need the only 8. No help. King of spades. 10s will double up for Demo.
Nice hand there.
So there we go. Hand number 7 of tonight's final table, and 2 of our shorties have already doubled up.
Serge is like, I'm right in the middle between you guys. When's my turn to get the double? It's coming. Suited ace. Saying Texas folks need to come out to LA, help keep the peace. Well, sadly, they've all been coming here to Texas. I don't think we're going to go the other way anytime soon, but stay safe out there. Shiny Platypus giving a big shout out to RJ and myself. Thank you very much.
That's right. My name is Jeff. Some kind words in the chat. We appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
My name's Jeff.
Serge looking at King Queen. He's our shorty that has not doubled up just yet. So he's had some playable hands there that have kind of been that medium spot where you kind of sort of should ship it, but not sure if you're trying to ladder up. So he's in the muck there with King Queen. It folds around to the small blind. Pocket jacks for Tony.
Tony the Tiger with the jiggities. What's going on, Mr. Richard Greenberg, my Boston fella? Yeah, definitely a good mix at this table. Got a lady on the table, got some youth, and we got some of the older, wiser fellas trying to teach these young bucks they still got it. Mickey not wanting his blind stolen, but he's just got a 10-8, so Tony is going to take it down. About 150 y'all already joined us so far this evening. Again, this is the big one. We've got about 15,000 plus up top, 10,000 for second place tonight, RJ. So
that's right.
We mentioned this is a really nice prize pool, $61,500 in this prize pool today that was guaranteed at 30,000. So we crushed that, even with all the other things going on in the state of Texas and, of course, in Vegas right now with all our friends out at the WSOP.
That's right. A lot of our bomb pot specialists were out there today. I know the bomb pot event was today. Let us know if you know of anyone doing well out there in Vegas, busting up the World Series of Poker. I know we've got some.
How about our lady, Dusty Smith?
I know we've got some stories to share already. Woo. Dusty Smith finishing second in a big event.
$2,000 event, over 2,000 entries, and she finishes second for $290,000.
And by the way, Miss Dusty Smith is at the final table currently of the ladies high roller at the win. They are down to the final 6, so she's going back to back, baby.
Crusher. Shout out to Miss Dusty.
Yeah, our good friend Trick Time finishing 4th in the 6-handed event. And my Oklahoma Chris Stats took that event down for a World Series of Poker bracelet. So shout out to Chris Stats for winning that event. A little over $400,000 in his prize and his second WSOP bracelet. Big congrats to him.
Here we go for Serge. He says choo-choo.
There you go.
Suited ace-queen.
Serge was very patient over there. He waited for a premium. He's found one. He's got ace-queen of spades. Always fun when you get ace-queen under the gun, running a little low.
Yeah, it's not going to get much better than that.
Rip it and see what happens. Folds around to the big blind where Matt has an ace, but it's a dusty ace. Ace-8.
Matt doesn't want to lose the 80,000 he's got out there, but he doesn't want to lose another 385 either if Serge does indeed have a dominating hand. Ace-8's only going to be ahead of just a couple of hands.
All right. You say you
yeah,
all right, Matt's in the muck. Serge takes it down.
We mentioned WSOP success is one of our own, Shane.
That's right. Shane Howard, Texas Card House dealer. He took 5th in the 1500
PLO 8.
PLO 8 event for a little
Little
Prize of 63,000.
That's right. We might not see Shane for a couple more
That's
weeks.
right.
You know, he might take a little vacay with
Yeah.
Mama.
You might be firing at another tournament out there now. Yeah, congrats to all the locals out there in Vegas tearing it up.
Yeah, bring all that money back to Texas.
I think we got some players around here. They are making a splash at the World Series of Poker.
Paige gonna raise and take that one down. Nobody wanting to mess with Paige so far. All right, great news there, Mr. Bart Bogart letting us know that Dusty is currently heads up with a 4-1 chip lead.
Woo!
Let's go.
That's the ladies high roller event at the Win after taking second. And in her previous tournament, that was a bracelet event at the World Series of Poker.
Yeah, she really wanted that bracelet, but she was pretty happy with the 290K cash that she got there.
Dusty's a crusher.
Way to start it off, representing Dallas, Texas. Demo will gladly take that one down. He's now chipped up to 815,000.
Yeah, walking it out right there for Demos. That puts him still near the bottom of the pack, but much more comfortable than he was.
Right, very close to really Mickey, Charles, Tony, and Demo there, kind of all neck and neck with just over 800,000. Definitely anybody's tournament here. See if things change if we do get a elimination at some point. But there's some big ladders. We'll put those prizes back up here shortly, but there's some big ladders when you kind of get to that 5th, 4th spot.
Yeah, for a $360 buy-in, that's kind of one of the fun things about this tournament is, man, once those ladders start kicking up in this final table there, worth some real money.
All right, Tony going to raise it up under the gun +2. Charles and the hijack waking up with the jiggities. He's going to 3-bet to 175. Action now back over to Tony. You love seeing a king-queen, but you don't love getting 3-bet with it. Let's see if he wants to continue. He does.
He'll just see a flop.
Got the suited variety.
Ace 4-6. That nasty ace comes out, scare both players a little bit. Tony will check. Charles will bet 100,000 into about 450 here. Tony lets it go. Nice pot there for Charles. After taking a hit a little earlier with those pocket eights, back to work, he's chipping back up.
There's the prize pools again. We mentioned everybody's already got $1,530 locked up. You see as we get right around 5th and 4th, those pay jumps start going from about $900 to $2,000 and above. So big jumps there between 5th all the way up to 1st.
Yeah, you get up there in that top 4, and all of a sudden you're playing for a $2,500 pay jump. So money is legit tonight. All right, Steven in the big blind gets a walk, and he just happened to have ace king. And he peaked.
On our second orbit here of the button. All 9 players are still alive. And our shorties have chipped up a little bit, so see what Tony wants to do here under the gun with the jiggities.
80.
A lot of middling cards out there behind him. Pretty dusty. Might find some company here in the big blind as Alex has ace queen.
Yeah, under the gun raise, a lot of times is perceived as strong, but ace queen, no doubt, is a strong holding as well. Not one you're going to be folding to a single open. Imagine he's going to come in for a 3-bet here. He does, and he does big. All in.
Alex rips it here with that ace queen. Tony's got somewhere around 500,000 behind. Tony's going to make the
Here we
call,
go.
so we're going to do it.
All in and a call. Big blind versus under the gun here. Ace queen versus the jacks.
It's going to put around 1.4 million in this pot, so this is going to be a big one.
Tony at risk. Oh, ace.
Ace on the flop. Running clubs here. 3 of clubs on the turn makes it interesting. A jack or a club.
How about a club?
King of clubs. And Tony with the full double up for 1.4 million here. Has to go running clubs to get it.
We be clubbing.
Big old pot for Tony.
You couldn't see her in the picture, but I think our 4-seat might have been as excited as Tony about that one. The power couple survives.
Rooting for her man. Says, give me a club. Ace queen goes down in flames for Mr. Alex, and that'll drop him all the way down to 300,000 now, so he'll be the shorty.
Big old hand there. Win family rooting on Mr. Tony. Mark Donovan joining. How you doing? Stand-up equity works out there. Bink, bink.
That's right. I didn't see if he officially stood up or not. Did he make it up?
Raise 105.
All right, Charles with pocket tens now. He'll raise it up 105,000. A lot of action here in early position as we're seeing some of our better hands up front here. Now Tony's going to be in a predicament here with pocket eights.
Fresh chips, fresh double up.
King, queen, deuce here on the flop. They go check, check.
Yeah, nobody loving those 2 Broadway cards on the flop. Tony wants to represent
Yeah,
one
Tony
now.
looking like he wants to
75.
reach a little bit here. 75,000 into 270. Charles not going away just yet. He makes the call. 3 of hearts on the river.
Check. Check. Showdown. 8. 10.
Nice hand there for Charles.
Yep, check, check on the river there. Charles very happy to go to showdown with tens and takes it down.
Lego letting us know that he was indeed crippled by Mr. Tony when his big blind defend with 6-5 suited flops a flush. Always good to flop a flush in this game.
That's right.
Hard to do.
It's amazing how important it is to make some hands when you defend from the big blind in these tournaments. Crucial to get a couple of those to send you to these final tables.
Final call for Tony for TLO. Dave, you want to transfer?
80.
Paige got a nice suited ace-9 here from the hijack.
So a couple of weak aces folded there in early position.
Tony's a smart man. He's going to get out of mama's way.
That's right. King 10 in the small blind. Doesn't want to mess with it. Rags in the big blind there for Mickey, and Paige will take it down. There's a good look at those chip stacks through hand 18. We haven't lost a player yet, but those chip stacks have moved around quite a bit.
Anybody need service? While the young ladies
Alex
service?
survived the blinds there. The button passes him. He is our super shorty with right at 7 big blinds. So he's going to need to find a spot here soon. Try to find a double plus.
80.
A lot of pairs here early in the tournament tonight, keeping these raises coming for us. This time, Demo's got 7s.
And Alex, it's not going to get much better than the 88.
88 in the cutoff. He will jam it, 280,000.
Jammy jam time for Mr. Alex.
Back to Demo here. It's going to be roughly about 200,000.
282.
Yeah, not going to love it, but he already put some money in. He's going to make the call.
Here we go, 7s versus 8s. Alex is at risk.
Oh,
Ace
7
4-7.
in the window.
Seti Maggette for Demo.
Only 1 8 remains.
Club, though, here we go. Down this road again. Ace of spades, no club, no 8. And that is a nice pot for Demo, and that will eliminate Mr. Alex tonight in 9th place.
GG's to Mr. Alex. Got to win your flips. That wasn't a flip. He was ahead
Yeah.
there on that one. Lord of mercy, but 7 in the window. It's going to take him out. Alex finishing 9th place, $1,530. Again, 9th place out of 205 entries. So great job today. Another deep run for Alex, and we will see him again, I'm sure.
I'm sure of it. Sweet run for Alex today. Nice little prize. I know, disappointing finish when you get this far and make it to the final table and finish in a 9th place spot, but well done. Congrats on that 9th place prize.
Our buddy Chase Bricker joining us. What's up, Mr. Chase? Says, let's go Tony and Paige. Heads up, no chop. Husband and wife battle. That's what he wants
That's
to
right.
see. Bet there's a lot of folks want to see that as well.
That would be awesome.
Like Mr. and Mrs. Smith in the kitchen
That's
scene,
right.
throwing knives at each other, just getting after it. Let's go.
Chase bringing the drama like he's writing a Netflix series. I'm here for it. King, Queen, 8. It's Rainbow. No help for Jack 7 or 7-5 here. Battle of the blinds. Charles checks. Matt will bet out and take it down.
Nice job there from Matt.
Lego mentioning that Paige finished him off after Tony crippled him.
He could not win against Team Win. How about that?
Ace King less than pocket 7s. All right.
Demo with another nice little pair here. Going up, though. Pocket 9s this time.
Man, the pairs are out tonight. Steven's going to make the call with Ace Queen. Tony does not want to mess with the ducks. He's in the muck. Mickey looking at a King Queen suited in the cutoff. That's worth a call.
Surge back down to 285, so he's going to need to get something going soon. He gets out of the way.
Jack 10-6.
Check.
9s are still best currently, but got to dodge a lot.
Check.
Gut shot here for Steven. Mickey's open-ended. Checks over to the cutoff. To Mickey.
Yeah, the legend of Mickey is now started in the chat. That mustache evidently beat Doug Polk. Heads up for $5 million.
150.
Doug couldn't outlast the stash.
Mickey's going to bet this open-ended draw here. 150,000 into 425. Steven doesn't want to mess with Ace Queen. Good pot there for Mickey. Nice job.
The young stash takes one down.
Jedi mentioning, is there such thing as laughing out silently? LOS. I would say yes. I think I do it all the time.
LOS, cousin of SBD.
No, cousin of LOL.
Oh, that's silent but deadly, but okay.
Yeah, they're all related. Paige under the gun, looking at 2 letters, but it's a queen and a jack.
100.
She will raise it up. Blinds are up now. 25,000, 50,000 now on the blind level.
A lot of times that can even be a fold, but when you've got a lot of chips there, the under the gun raise with queen jack makes sense. Put some pressure on your opponents, especially the shorter stacks. But Demo waking up with 9s again.
9s again in the big blind. And a 9 high flop. That's a pretty good flop for Demo. 9, 4, 5.
Seti Magetti.
2 clubs. We go check, check.
Yeah, you don't want to give her too much room here. She's got a straight draw now.
Paige picking up that nutter gutter here with the 2 overs.
That's 150. She does get out of the way.
On her best behavior at a good time.
Nice hand there for Demo as he continues to chip up. All right, our boy Serge over there has the button.
Made it through those blinds. Didn't make any cheese there, but he made it through them. So now he's on the button. 260,000.
Well done, Jedi. People starting to talk a little bit about this WSOP Plus app. Let us know what you think about the new developments at the Poker Atlas app, folks.
All in.
Surge.
All in for Surge.
On the button. King 10.
Folds around to the button. King 10 good enough to rip it, and he does. 260,000, and he will find some resistance. Demo. Another nice hand here for Demo. He's got ace queen.
Tricky spot with a big stack to his left. He is just going to call. Paige doesn't have anything that she can try to help eliminate, so it's just going to be heads up here. Demo versus Surge. Surge has made tons of final tables. He's going to try to continue this run today. Going to have to land something, though. Open-ender.
Queen, Jack 7. Surge is open-ended. Another queen. Now he cannot hit an ace. 6 of spades, no help for Surge, and that will be our second elimination of tonight's final table. Surge, a very quality run again, and he will finish in 8th place tonight. That's a nice pot for Demo.
Yeah, Demo just running hot right now. Still stacking chips, knocking out Surge, but congrats to Surge. 8th place out of 205, $1,810. That'll give him a few more bullets to keep firing.
You betcha.
Great job there, Surge, and congrats on another final table. We see you pretty much a couple times a month, it seems, on this final table.
Like.
Yeah.
Nice job, Surge, yet again. So we're 7-handed now. Players are locked up 2,090 for their prize. Still shooting for a little more than 15,000 up top. Some more medium pairs for us. Mickey's got 6s. Doesn't want to mess with him. He's in the muck. Charles.
125.
An upgrade to medium pair here. He's seen aces a few times tonight. He'll try him again. 125,000 from Charles. Paige in the small blind with kings.
Almost called those the Kiggities, but those are just the Cowboys.
They're kicking. 355 from Paige here.
And quick fold from Charles. So very disciplined fold there. Charles getting out of the way.
Says, I'm sick of getting these 8s.
Yep. Realizing she's out of position and willing to put in a big old 3-bet. She's probably got something.
That bet meant something.
It meant something.
Nice job there for Charles. Get out of there.
What do you say, Mr. Bill Poker? We know we'll see your face around here soon, my friend. Tyler mentioning that Demo does indeed have the power of America with that shirt.
I see it.
So, channeling his inner Captain America.
Ace, queen, 7. That's middle pair for Tony. Bottom pair for Steven. battle of the blind situation here.
Yeah, limped pot, neither player going to give the other credit for an ace here, so who is in love with their pair the most?
Steven going to continue here. Both players continuing to see streets here. Neither one believing the other one has an ace.
There are some missed club draws possible. Steven may be wanting to continue, thinking that might be what his opponent has.
He just goes with the small blocker bet again, 75,000, and he'll get a call there. Tony's queen will take it down.
Nice hand there for Tony. Second pair good for juicy little pot. Yeah, Demo and Captain America with the 2 KOs so far.
Yeah, that's right. Back-to-back coolers there for Alex. So he was our 9th place finisher tonight. Demo got the tail end of that. And Demo ace queen able to
take out
Surge.
Keep him from surging. Took him out. He was excited though, just to make it. He told me at the bar today, right before the tourney, that he was excited, but he was short and he was going to try to give it hell, and he did at least get a ladder up. So
yeah, I didn't get to visit with him. I should have visited with him a little more, but we did get a quick hello in as we walked past one another. And the way he said hello, I was guessing that Surge was at the final table tonight.
175.
Tony getting a little out of line here in the small blind, hoping that his opponent
does
in the
not
big
have
blind does not have ace
a
10.
hand like that.
Yeah, let's see. Mickey wants to play back at him. Definitely a couple ways he can play this.
And Tony was able to raise the last orbit in this same particular spot. It folded around to Tony, and Tony actually had a good hand that time. So this will be the second orbit in a row Tony has picked on Mickey's big blind.
And Mickey is going to play it a little cautious and just make the call.
Queen, Jack, Jack. Now, if you're going to raise with 8 deuce, you're probably going to have to continue on about 95% of the flops you see, and he will continue 75,000.
Blinds are at 25,000, 50,000, 50,000. Mitch, I don't know if you can see them. They're kind of up in the top right-hand corner of the screen, kind of small.
225.
And that's what you do with the 8 deuce.
There we go.
When you face resistance, you just chunk it.
Mickey flops that gut shot and will bump it up and take it down. Nice pot there for Mickey from the big blind.
All right, Matt in our 1 seat is under the gun. He's the current short stack. Got just over 11 big blinds. Love seeing 2 suited cards, but not the one you want to go with there.
100.
All right, Queen Jack again here for Paige. Bumps it up, 100,000 to go.
Amy, you're going to table 10. 10. 10.
Ace 4 for Mickey. That's in the muck. Over to Charles. He's got the old 69er. Paige takes it down. Yeah, Bill mentioning that he got to sweat Shane's final table in person out there in Vegas.
Yeah, I saw our buddy Christian, who deals here.
Sure.
Got to sweat Dusty at her final table when she was heads up. So a lot of folks rooting on their fellow DFW friends and obviously Texas folks, and in your case, the Oklahomies.
That's right.
We are doing great. Ryan, how you doing, brother? Got about 239 of y'all tuning in. Do us a favor, like and subscribe. Smash that thumbs up button there and subscribe to the channel. You'll get notifications when we're having streams come up, not just here in Dallas, but at all the TCH locations.
All right, a fun little spot here for Tourney cooking up. Steven raised it up with that ace-10 in the hijack. Tourney in the cutoff with ace-king. Big slick, he's ripped it. All in for a little over $1 million.
Putting the hammer down. And Matt in the big blind just has to lose those blinds and get out of the way.
Steven out of the way as well. Open it up with that ace-10 and quickly in the muck. Nice hand there for Tourney.
Yeah, I've seen all the TCH ambassadors out there. We got Fireman Scott, we got Lala, we got Rebecca Thompson, Miss Mallory, the Mal Pal.
That's right.
Out there.
I saw Law had bagged something, but I don't remember exactly what her event was, but nice little bag for her. I think she said she had a big day 2 coming up Sunday.
There you go. Anthony Phillips in the chat letting us know he's going to play day 2 of the Colossus.
There we go.
Vegas tomorrow.
Happy stacking. Go get him, Anthony.
Go get him.
Paige going to raise it up with the jiggities. She's got jacks. Holds around to Matt in the small blind. He's out of there. Queen 10 here for Demo. He will complete it. Let's see a flop.
Couple big stacks going to battle.
9 deuce 4.
Great flop for those jacks. Bet and take it.
So yeah, Colossus for Law. That's right, Mark Donovan. Thank you. Yeah, so Anthony and Lala probably in the same event there. Battling it out tomorrow, day 2.
All right, players, let me just say you got 3 minutes left on break. We did lose a player before the break started, so you guys are in the money. We'll be on him for a minute.
All right.
All of you
It's like
are
that
in
second
the
tournament today just announced the players that are
Yeah, it was
in the
hopping
money there.
tonight.
Yeah. I saw it was well over $6,000
Yeah.
for first place for that $175 buy-in for the afternoon tournament. 15K guarantee. What's it looking like, our Jizzle?
Yeah, 15K guarantee. They had 171 entries in that bad boy. They have 6,300 up top. So you can make
Raise 180.
over 6,000 in the $175 nightcap here. Paige going to raise it up again. Taking them down left and right here for
Yeah, running hot and getting
Miss
respect.
Paige.
Running hot and getting respect.
So she's chipping up. She's building on her chip lead now. She's at 1.76 million. And her honey, Tourney, actually second in chips now. So Tourney and Paige rocking the penthouse right now.
Well, speaking of, she might not be happy because Tourney just woke up with 2 queens.
Tourney under the gun
Don't tell mama.
with the queens.
Got a couple ladies in his holding.
100,000 here from the queens.
Oh,
Hello.
Collision, here we come.
Charles going to bump it up. He's got big slick suited. 300,000 to go now. Early position raise for Tourney and an early position 3-bet for Mr. Charles.
Charles has been knocked off of some big hands already with 3 bets. This would be a 4-bet coming in from Tourney if he decides to come over the top here.
Big hands deserve big pots. Might we see some fireworks here? Tourney
we
does
do.
rip it. He's all in with
and
the
a snap call. Classic battle. The suited ace-king versus the 2 ladies of Tourney.
All right, both these players have quite a bit of chips. This pot's going to be a little over 2 million. Ace-king versus the queens.
Charles at risk.
9-4-4. Rainbow, 1 diamond for Charles. Jack of spades, no help. Only an ace or king can help Charles. 4
Wow.
of spades. That's a full house for Tourney and the queens will hold.
Big old pot there. Tony's going to take down a pot and chip up to 2.52 million. That is going to do it for Mr. Charles. Great job, Charles, and glad to see you on another final table. 7th place, going to take home $2,090. great job, Charles. We know we'll see you again. 7th place out of 205 today.
Mr. Charles, great run today. 2,090, a sweet prize. He's one of my very favorite players to get the deal to, and occasionally I'll play with Mr. Charles. He's an awesome guy. Great to see him here. Having a good time at this final table and taking home a pretty healthy prize.
Absolutely. Y'all give Charles a shout out there in the chat. And Tony now, big chip leader. Mama right behind him, though. So, power couple. Chip leading right now with 6 players remaining.
Raise 100.
All right, back to action here. Demo's in the cutoff of pocket 4, so he'll raise it up. 100,000 to go. Rags in the blinds here. Tony looking down at a 10 and a 3. Sunflower Gunpowder. They play with Charles as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he spends a lot of hours over there at LC stacking chippies.
A lot of fun. All right, Matt is our 1 seat. He is going to be, I believe, under the gun here. Super short, but yeah, looking at a queen 6 off. So
that's not going to cut it.
Cards are not cooperating for Matt. He's going to have to put 100,000 in just next hand.
Steven on the button with suited ace 9. That's worth an open. He'll make it 130,000.
And no resistance. Yeah, I've told this story before. All the folks that are out in Vegas trying to bank a big one out there. I had a good buddy of mine when I was living down in Houston, had just turned in his 2 weeks notice that he was going to retire, and went out there and played in the Millionaire Maker and finished in 3rd. Mr. James Duke out of Houston, Texas. Y'all probably played with him in some tournaments, but he plays on the live stream down at Champions quite a bit. But yeah, 3rd place, $614,000. Called his boss and said, "Hey, boss, I don't think I need that 2 weeks notice anymore. I'm not coming back.
I'm going to call in sick for a couple weeks, and y'all do the paperwork."
Yeah, he's been firing in tournaments all across the country ever since. That was back in 2014, I believe. Yeah. Shout out to Mr. James Duke out there. Oh, crazy blue-haired son of a gun.
All right, fun hand brewing here. Steven's going to bump it up. King, queen of diamonds. 125,000 to go. Tony on the button with a suited ace. Matt has a king and a 7. Does not want to mess with that. Lets his big blind go. Heads up to the flop. Queen, queen, 9. Big flop for Steven.
Juicy flop for both players, though. Tony has the nut club draw here. Ace high.
Steven will check. With intentions, I would imagine. Just a call here. 7 of spades.
725 out there. Steven's just got 565 left in his stack. He does continue to play slow, though. Tony's going to get to see one for free, and it's
Deuce
a club.
of clubs. Tony's going to flush out here.
250.
Steven does lead out with that king-queen on the river after Tony has rivered a nut flush. Trip queen's no good for Steven here.
And here comes the boom.
All in. You're back.
All in from Tony. Steven says this hand is too big to fold, instantly makes the call and finds the bad news. So Tony will eliminate yet another player.
And that is going to do it for Steven. Great run there. Just running into it there on the river. Tony is going to eliminate Steven in 6th place. Steven's going to take home $2,455, 6th place out of 205 entries today. So a great deep run and appearance on our final table for him. Great job, Steven.
Sweet run for Steven. Pert near 2,500 in that prize. Now the players are locked up. 29.60, nearly $3,000 guaranteed for these players now. And Matt appreciates these recent knockouts. He's making real money over there with a short stack.
There is no rest. We were barely back on the screen showing the prizes. Zeus already has another hand dealt. I'm telling you, Zeus is a speed demon. Speedy and accurate. Yeah, they are dropping. We are through 34 hands.
So it looks like our button is off a bit in the graphics. Mickey actually has the button here, and he has an ace and a queen. It looks like Tony raised it there. A little min click with the king jack. It's 100,000 from Tony. Mickey will 3-bet with that ace queen. It's up to 275,000 now. Matt's going to rip it. He's got pocket 5, so he's going to be in there for 380,000.
Yep, got 100,000 already out there. Actually, he was in this. Yeah, you're right. This button's off. Button's off a little bit.
So Matt was in the small blind here. Mickey's going to need to call a bit more.
All right. Matt is going to be at risk here with the speed limit. 55.
5's for Matt. He's at risk. Mickey's got ace queen. 6, 7, 9. 5's are best and has a gut shot.
Queen.
Big queen here on the turn.
5 or an 8.
7 of spades. No help for Matt. The queen on the turn will do it for Mickey. Ace queen takes out 5's. Nice run for Matt. Comes to an end here.
Yeah, great job for Matt.
In 5th place.
Didn't get to see a ton of play from him because the cards just were not cooperating, but he held on and did quite the ladder up there from 9th all the way up to 15th there. Got a $1,400 ladder up. So 29.60 going Matt's way. Great job finishing in front of over 200 players. So good job there, buddy, and we will, I'm sure, see you again.
Yeah, nearly a 3K prize there for Matt as he was hanging on for dear life over there. So he will be happy to take that run. Well done.
And then there were 4. Zeus must have a hot date because he is knocking them out.
Yeah, it took us a while to get started. We went about, 18, 19 hands before we had an elimination, and they've been firing out since then. We're now in hand 35, down to 4 players.
Mickey got the button. Gonna use that. It says he's on the button, but the button is over there. It's a dead button. Paige does make the call. King lands. King Mickey. Oh, wow.
King of spades on the turn.
How about another king for the stash?
Triple-licious here for Mickey.
Easy fold here from the 8-6.
All right, so that'll put the button back on the players. It's over there in the 3 seat for Demo.
So yeah, pretty even with our 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place chip leads here.
Yeah, down to 4 players. These stacks really starting to level out a bit.
Tony with that big chip stack over there, over 3 million. Mickey liked his king that landed twice last hand.
Mickey liked it. 105,000. That is a min raise and the smallest of tickles.
4-handed. I saw Jack 7 was the worst of the holdings here. A lot of Broadway cards.
I've raised with worse. King deuce 5. King's landing for Mickey.
Just call him the king already.
125.
Fights people off with just one arm.
1 arm and 1 king, and he's giving this table fits.
All right, takes it down. A little momentum picking up there for Mickey. It's over 2.7 milli.
I like to call it this Super Troopers stash.
There you go.
Felipe, he's got
He needs my ID card.
small pig.
My coffee, did someone call me?
Both of them.
Hatcher Mason making an appearance in the chat. What's up, Hatch?
He's the one that's been dropping all the Mickey knowledge, the legend, the urban legend of
There we go. Okay.
King Mickey over there is growing,
Thank you.
as is the stash.
All right, Paige gonna bump it up here from her button with Jack 6 offsuit. Four-handed here.
Mickey's got a king again, but this time accompanied by a big ol' ace.
Big slick in the big blind.
And knowing that the button could be raising with any two cards, so we're going to pop this sucker up.
50.
Makes it 350. Gonna get rid of the Jack 6 pretty easily there.
He's got a charger, so it's number 1, he said. He's got a charger.
Kind of carefully noticing the way that Tony has stacked his chips over there. Very organized. Seems like a very meticulous guy. Safe to bet that he's the one that does all the chores around the house?
Building a little wall over there.
I think he does.
I don't know anything about all that. No say nada.
Yep, I think he does the chores.
1-2 on table 12 for the following players: TBO, STK, Tuz, QAZ, Toddy, Trayway, and Jose R.
Does the chores, and going to open this up here with a 10-8 suited on the button.
Demo's got a big blind and a king. He'll see a flop. Deuce 3-7. 2 hearts here for Tony. Nice little flop.
Had no reason to slow down here in position.
Flush draw 2 overs. Demo holding no hearts, so he'll let go of king 6. Nicely done from Tony.
There you go.
Blinds up this hand. 30,
Blinds are going to be up this hand. You heard Zeus say it, 30, 60, 60.
Four-handed here at the final table, Texas Card House, Dallas. 257 viewers right now. Make sure you're smashing that like button for us.
Absolutely. Helps those algorithms. And share this if you've got a friend or family member. Share the YouTube link and let everybody else check it out. A lot of content, great content on TCH Live. Austin started to get a bigger stream, a 5-5 plus stream. I've been watching a little bit of that. And one of our buddies that's involved with the Rio Grande stream, I saw Chubbs was on another stream down in Austin, the Lodge. He banked a final table. He didn't win the whole thing, but he, I think, got 6th place in one of their big events here recently. So shout out to the Rio Grande Valley folks at TCH and their dealer and live stream kind of producer down there. He's part of the team.
Mr. Chubbs making some noise. Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah, this is TCH Dallas. Demo got the button and an ace. Men click in a tickle here. Just for a min raise, there's not many cards you're not going to continue with there with that big stack.
Check. $115.
Yeah, there's a good look at the Texas Card House Dallas table. That beautiful queso color brought to you by Hijack Poker and the Skyline, downtown Dallas. We've got some good tables on TCH Live, whether it be Rio Grande Valley and their palm trees or Houston and their Houston Astros looking jersey table. That's a sharp looking table as well.
It is.
And I don't remember what the Austin table looks like.
I think they have the Capitol. They've got the burnt
okay,
orange.
yeah, that's right.
They got the burnt orange kind of color scheme going. Of course, ours.
Yep.
We have a little bit of that queso.
That's right.
Because we like our Tex-Mex up here in DF Dub, so we like chips and queso. So might as well make your table queso colored. Whether or not that was involved in the actual thought process, I don't know.
I love it.
But I did have some Chipotle earlier, and I added queso.
And they came to work. Jack 9-10, battle of the blinds here. 5-4, flops a lot of nothing. Mickey's got king high.
Yeah, I think our location and Houston are the only ones that have the skyline of our city in the background. I think Austin may have the Capitol building. I could be wrong.
Okay.
Have to check out their stream again. But there you see the beautiful Dallas skyline in the background with the Hijack Poker logos there. If you guys haven't checked out Hijack Poker already, definitely download the app. If you're in Texas, you can play for real money. A lot of free roll tournaments as well. And a bunch of different games, everything from
a lot of
PLO to high-low. Different stakes as well, so from the lowest stakes to the higher stakes. So
yeah, you can piddle around on some real small stuff and 2 cent, 5 cent PLO, so you don't have to jump in there with heaps. If you're a new player, you can use the referral bonus Rascal for an additional $15 bankroll, and there are some summertime bonuses if you just need to deposit. I forget exactly what that promotional code is. Summer something. Somebody might remember in the chat. Summer 25 maybe?
That's right. Reminder, since we are in June now, it's June 7th already.
It's June?
Here in Dallas and the Las Colinas Club both, you can do the 9 for $99 special, which is great right now because that's going to save you not $2 but $3 per hour, as those prices did go up for the month of June. So starting June 1st, these hourly rates will be raised $1 an hour. It says there at the bottom. So double up once a day, each club, 9 for $99. Jump on that bad boy while you can.
9 for $99. That's at Dallas and Las Colinas right now in the month of June.
120.
All right, you little squirrels, keep it nice in the chat.
Tony raised it up here with Queen Jack.
Got a fun final table going.
All right, Tony building on that chip lead. He's up to 3.4 million. Mickey now all the way up to second in chip stacks. He's 2.4 million. Demo and Paige hanging around 1.2. Blinds did go up here recently, 30,000, 60,000 now. So blinds have gone up.
130.
Still plenty of blinds in play here, even for the two shorter stacks. Demo raised it up with the Queen 9 on the button.
Tony thinking about doubling down with that 8-3.
Double down. Pikachu. Ace, King 7. Not a fun flop if you raised with Queen 9 here, but Tony will check it. Demo bets.
No diamond, no draws. Easy fold there for the 8-3. The power couple is one half of our final table right now.
That's right, still hanging in there.
Tony and Paige going to be taking home money regardless. A lot of folks are wanting to see them heads up. But Demo and Mickey are thinking otherwise.
Paige on the button here with a pair. It's deuces.
Raise 125.
125 here. King 10 for Mickey, facing pretty much a min raise from the button. Mickey makes a call. We'll go to a flop. Ace, King 3. Mickey finds middle pair with that King 10.
If he's got a king, he's going to land it. That is the trend.
With an ace out there on the board this time.
Hard to get a pair. He's got second pair. He's not going anywhere.
Queen of hearts on the turn. Gut shot now for Mickey as well. Turn goes check, check. 10 of hearts here. Puts 4-liner out there to Broadway, but nobody holding a jack. Let's see what Mickey wants to do with this card.
So he's putting in such work. He's got a stretch there at the table.
Mickey does throw a bet out there, 100,000 here. Paige holding the deuce of hearts, but
yeah, I think
does not want to do anything crazy with those deuces.
Full rip is the only bet that gets it done there, and it still might not get it done. So she's going to think better and pick a different spot.
Yeah, so that pot dinged Paige up a little bit. She's now below $1 million at 950,000, and she's under the gun.
All right, DJ Rod Baker finished 11th. Good deep run for you as well.
Nice job, Rod.
120.
You know, honestly, the money's going home, right? I would like to see them play heads up. It's not very often you get to play heads up at a final table anyway, and I think
Oh, it'd be a blast if we get to see
the
it.
practice, you know, it makes sense to play, you know, to me, just to get it done. But then again, you know, you're taking the money home, and maybe they already have a vacation in mind, so that's going to be up to them if they get there. But Demo and Mickey are still not set with that idea. They got their own
I know if I got
agenda.
heads up at a final table with my lady, I'd be like, no, I want to whoop this. I want to whoop this pot. I want to take it down. And she'll say the same thing. She'll probably say, I'm about to kick your
Whoop that trick.
in my dreams. In my dreams.
Goodness.
Ace Jack for Mickey on the button.
Tournament crushing women are too smart to date fellas like you and I.
That's
are.
probably true. Queen 7.
They know better.
King 10 in the big blind worked out pretty well for Mickey, but not so much here for Paige. 8 of hearts on the turn. Another queen on the river. Now we got trips on the board.
Yeah, probably just going to take this to showdown.
Yep,
Yeah.
check here.
Both players just hoping maybe they could get a little showdown value with their high cards there. Ace Jack is going to get her done. Trip queens, Ace Jack. Paige's stack is starting to dwindle down. She's right at about 11, 12 big blinds. On the battlefield, you define your destiny.
It is true. Paige on the battlefield right now. She's going to rip it.
All
She's
in
got
with the
pocket
sevens.
sevens from the small blind.
And if Tourney had called her with the 9-6 and beat her and knocked her out,
9-6, an easy laydown. No sweat there for Tourney.
have fun at home,
That's
Tourney,
right.
is all I got to say. If you knock her out right there. Might wake up with one less appendage. All right, Sunflower Gunpowder says Paige is just going to turn this thing on here in a second and take it down. We'll see.
Fun little run here for Demos. He came into this final table a little bit short, and boy, did he have a run that chipped up in a hurry, and now he's got plenty of chips here four-handed. Tourney trying to limp here from the small blind.
Mickey waking up with the goods here. Big slick suited.
260.
All right, Mickey's going to take that one down. But we got 290 of y'all watching right now. That's plenty of people to get in the chat and let us know what hand you think we're going to get down to the heads-up play. So we are on hand number 50, hand 50 right now. What's the over-under on number of hands it takes us to get down to heads-up? Somebody throw it out there in the chat. What do you think? Got one short stack here, Paige. I saved that one for you, Lego. Sunflower Gunpowder. We're going to go ahead and say no. We're not going to hand 190.
Hand 190 before we get heads up.
Very
Tourney
ambitious.
takes that one down. Yeah, four-handed. These blinds and antes come around really quick. You're either in a blind, on the button, or in the cutoff.
Yeah, that question did clear out the table. A couple weeks ago, we went 3 orbits of the button on our final table 2.5 weeks
That's
ago.
right. Yes, it did.
Yep.
As soon as we asked the question,
50 hands have been dealt so far.
pop, pop, pop. No more table.
87 was kind of the number I was looking at. Lego says 69. He thinks it's going to be a quickie. Nothing wrong with that.
Tourney's still getting the heat over there. King, queen, ace, queen. Some premium holdings here, four-handed for Tourney. 3.45 million now in his stack.
Only broccoli's been going to be chopped. No chopping. Jimmy Pierce. Seconds Legos 69. That means 17 more hands. That's it.
High Roller's asking how many hands we played. This is
52.
Yep, this is hand 52. A lot of sickos in the chat. Nailing that 69.
Mitchell just giving it one more or 2 more orbits here.
Yeah.
Well, a little more. They're only four-handed. Forget that part. Math is hard.
I like those numbers. 67's a fair over-under here. Ace 3-9.
Harry! 60.
$78 from High Rollers. Doug R says hand 68. Paige able to lead out here on the turn. Takes that
That's
pot
right.
down. Tourney doesn't want to mess with it.
She hadn't got that full double she needs, but they can't get rid of her. Hanging on and got the button.
And again, tomorrow, players will be running at 1 p.m. our Sunday small one. 5-day guaranteed no limit total tournament with a $100 value. Starting then with 25K starting stack, and then you have the chance for a $40 single add-on at 50K to your stack with registration.
They doing the third tournament today as well, the little small one?
Sounded like Randy was introducing a tournament for tomorrow.
Okay, tomorrow's Sunday tourney.
The $100 buy-in with an add-on at the break, right? And this one, Tony's in the small blind with pocket sixes. Chip leader. Second in chips to his left. Mickey's got king jack. So Tony raised it up this time, 200,000 to go. Goes a little extra on this one with pocket sixes. Mickey will just call. To the flop we go. 6-8-5. That's a set for Tony. Not much working here for Mickey and his king jack. Tony will check it and finds a customer. Mickey's reaching for chips. He bets 150.
Yeah, first time Mickey hasn't landed that king, and should be glad he didn't, as Tony has smashed this flop.
Tony now wondering how we can get some chips in this pot. He will check raise right away, and Mickey throws king jack in the muck.
All right, so yeah, this is the Saturday Big One tournament. It was a $30,000 guaranteed prize pool. We've smashed that, $61,000, $360 buy-in. But if you prefer a small one, tomorrow is the new small one tournament on Sundays, the Sunday small one. $100 buy-in at 1 p.m. Start off with $25,000 in chips, 20-minute levels, $5K guarantee. I think you mentioned there might be an add-on or some shenanigans at some point.
Yeah, I heard Randy mentioning that
4 or more rebuys. What? Add-on cost for $40.
Okay.
And the add-on chips is $50,000. So
there we go. So
that's turns it into a little deeper one during the add-on period. So yeah.
Kind of similar to the Monday night rebuy, but a little bit different. 3, 8, 9. Our flop here in hand 54. Demo's going to turn a pair with that 5. Mickey's got queen jack, a gutter, 2 overs, and a club. Ace of clubs. That's going to be a check mark for Mickey if we go to showdown.
He's going to check and try to see if Demo will put something out there, but Demo says, no, sir, not falling for that.
Well, what time is the new little one here on Sunday?
1 p.m.
1 p.m.
Yep.
There you go. Well, I tell you, tournament poker, everybody's got the itch tonight for sure.
Fresh off the pews, come right into TCH. Get after a little $100 buy-in.
They are down to 11 players in the $175 deeper stack. Down to 11 players, just 2 away from their final table. Queen 10 of clubs.
130.
Definitely worthy of an open here for Mickey. Makes it 130.
Yeah, 40% of a royal flush. Might as well.
Queen jack in the small blind.
Paige hating having to fold her big blind here. She's getting short.
King 8-3. 2 spades. Not much work in here for either player. Demo checks. That entices Mickey to throw a bet out there. He'll take it down.
Takes it down. Nice hand there, Mickey. There you go. Streamlabs doing our job, reminding everybody to smash that like button. Says, help us get to 150 likes. That's pretty ambitious, but we got 278 of y'all watching. We need some help.
Streamlabs says we can do it.
There's that thumb right underneath the YouTube video. Smash that thumb. Cost you nothing. Helps grow this channel. We'd greatly appreciate it. We don't push that too hard, but we'd greatly appreciate it if you did. Especially if you're enjoying your friend or family member who is crushing a final table right now.
Our bosses need to know that somebody likes us.
Somebody, somewhere, doesn't think we're terrible.
All right, Demo's got big slick and a button. He's going to raise it up, 120,000 here. Just a min raise here on Tony's big blind. Tony's got ace-7 off. Makes a call. We'll see a flop. Queen, Jack, 8, 2 diamonds here for Demo, the nutter, gutter, and a flush draw.
And he's just going to rip it as he's now down to just 680. My man, some guy. Thank you.
Thank you, some guy. Appreciate that.
Big old flop for Demo. Going to take down a juicy pot there. Get him back over $1 million. Paige is now on the button with right at about 11 to 12 big blinds. Mickey's chipped up to almost 3 million, so he's getting close to that mark that Tony crossed just a bit ago.
All in.
All right, Demo in the cutoff here with an open rip, ace-10. Into two big stacks in the blinds. Tony got some rags. Now Mickey's going to have something to think about. He's got pocket eights.
He wants a count. A little over a third of his stack, though, he'd have to put in with those 2 8s.
Yeah, we have not seen the open rip too much from this entire table, frankly, and we definitely haven't seen it here four-handed, so this is a new play here for Demo.
9, $1 million, 10.
You're definitely calling any normal raise here with the 2 8s. You're playing four-handed.
Yeah, Mickey going to play with his chips here a moment, see if he can catch any reads. Try to figure out perhaps why Demo opened with the shove here.
He's going to look at him one more time. Give him another gander. How do you feel? Go with your gut. Somebody's going to have to do the heavy lifting, though, and knock one of these shorter stacks out.
Yeah, 2.8 million here in Mickey's stack. So a little over a third if he chooses to make this call. Does not want to do it. Eights are in the muck.
Laquan nailed it. Says he's folding. He's not calling. Captain America taking down the stash. Scaring him out of a pot. Tough fold there. I think just the right amount there.
Yeah, right.
Tough spot. Lego saying he never got our Zelle payment to be his friend. I guess it's like a TCH fraternity. We got to pay for our friends.
That explains a lot, Lego.
All right, well, Zelle incoming. Go ahead and put your info on the screen for everybody, Lego. Oh, some guy, you know, that flag might offend some people. Might be too patriotic for him. July 4th is coming up, though. Put that in the suggestion box, brother.
King, Queen, 6 here. No help for Demo. Tony has ace 10. Pretty good hand on the button.
75.
Dottie would appreciate that. Yeah, I agree. That stack size was just perfect, and you know, third of your stack with just a kind of medium to small pair.
Yeah, and winning those
never feels
back-to-back
good.
pots there for Demo really helped him out there to keep him with the edge over Paige there.
Absolutely.
And Demo looks at 10 deuce and has to give Paige a walk.
Paige will gladly take a walk. She needs every chip she can have. She's going to stay right there at 760. Again, this is what we're playing for here, folks.
Four-handed.
The next guy or gal out is going to take home $3,835. But they all want 5x that. They want $15,000 up top, $15,295.
Show me the money.
Buy-in for today was $360. So all of these folks, if they did just fire one bullet,
Who does that?
have 10x'd that one bullet. How about them apples? King ball.
King 8-9, both players connecting here. Paige, middle pair. Tourney with top pair. Power couple. Hooking it up here. King of spades on the turn.
Rut-row. Oh, whoa, a little deception? What?
He's like, if I bet, she'll kill me, but I have a big hand.
Yeah, I thought he might just jam on her just to tell her, hey, I've got it. Interesting. Well, took a little chunk out of Paige's stack there. She's got the button, though, and right at 10 big blinds. Yeah, we were all surprised to see that.
Yeah, a little over 10 blinds here for Paige. All right, Paige under the gun here. Queen 6 suited.
No, absolutely not, Hatcher.
All right, Paige will rip it. Queen 6 of clubs. Tourney out of there with that king queen. No holdings in the blind, so she'll get that through.
I mean, doesn't want to knock Mama out. Knows where the bread is buttered.
Not this one. Next one. It already started the show.
Tourney looking down at kings. Cowboys, they're kicking again. Under the gun with kings.
I agree, Shiny Platypus.
120.
Well, there's some rags around, so Tourney will get to raise it up and take it down. No resistance there for the kings. That was a tough spot there for Paige on her big blind. I feel like she should be lower than that unless I missed something. All right, King Jack here for Mickey.
150.
In the cutoff. Raise it up to 150. Jack 8-3, top pair here for Mickey. Bottom pair for Tourney, ace-3 lands a 3.
Tourney flopped a pair. He's definitely going to continue. Not going to fold to just the one bet from Mickey.
4 diamonds here on the turn. Looks like a pretty good card here for top pair. Tourney again checking here with just bottom pair.
Kind of really thinking about this with bottom pair.
Yeah, Mickey made it look a little suspicious here, so now he's going for some value on the river. Bets 375. About a half pot bet here.
Looks like folding body language. But he's really doing a lot more thinking in this hand than I think most players would.
There we go. Nice lay down there for Tourney. Nicely played by both players right there. Mickey definitely doing a good job making it look like top pair was not in his holdings.
Yeah, right now we've got two players well over 3 million in chips, two short stacks, so, you know, there's definitely players trying to double up and players trying to get knockout punches, and obviously it's pretty clear that guy doesn't maybe want to knock out his wife.
Right, yeah.
That seems like common sense.
You don't have to knock out your wife when you have a deuce kicker. It's you don't have to. All right, King 9 there for Demo. Picks up blinds and antes. And of course, we've mentioned before, when you're four-handed, short-handed, you want to refer to your position as the optimistic position. Even though you're under the gun, you are officially in the cutoff. So you want to treat that position like a cutoff.
Should be a jam right here from Paige, King Queen.
King Queen suited for Paige in that cutoff, and she'll rip it.
Tony's in a spot again. Like, what do? You know this was going to happen when you get on a final table together.
Right.
I feel for him because I don't know what I would do here. I don't. I honestly don't. If I had a wife or a girlfriend that was on the final table with me, I don't know what I would do here.
And he is looking at that tournament board wondering what he is going to do.
I know what I'm supposed to do with a huge stack and a pair, a pretty decent pair, but it's not a fun spot.
Doesn't mess with it. He's in the muck, 7 deuce in the big blind.
I think that one I probably do call
Yeah,
because I think
would.
she's got the two. I'm assuming she's got 2 overs, and I can probably double her up. But what are we saying here?
I think I would too, but yeah, that spot sucks.
Yeah, that's a double up. Oh, you know, he intentionally doubled up his opponent. What if she has an overpair? You know, he intentionally doubled her up. Then everybody's going to be shouting he purposely doubled her up. You know.
Right.
Trust me, they're not going to go back and look at these comments, you know, watching this because they don't care what you guys are saying because they're both going on winners tonight. But it's a spot that I don't want to be in.
Yeah, High Roller says he's not going to lie, he wouldn't make it.
Yeah, there's people in the chat right now saying that they would not make the call.
Mickey with King 10 here on the button. He'll bump it up, put a little pressure on Shorty in the big blind.
Lines have gone up just a smidge here, 35,000, 70,000, 70,000. We have 2 short stacks and 2 monster stacks. Do with that what you will. 2 folks are super short. 2 folks are sitting pretty comfortable right now. Exactly.
150.
150 here from Mickey. And the cutoff with Jack 10 of clubs. Gets over to Tourney here. We might see some big stack on big stack action here. Tony's in the big blind with ace 10 of diamonds. It is a loose definition of knowingly. Tourney will 3-bet here. 470,000 now.
God, I can't tell you how many times I've purposely folded for a ladder.
Yeah.
I fold for ladders all day long if,
Right.
if I know I need to, you know, if the money's real and it means something to me. Nice hand there for Mr. Tourney. Oh, absolutely not. About banned you guys for some of those silly comments earlier.
Suited king 3 on the button for Paige.
King 3.
Yeah, blinds have
Tourney folded the 10-3, guys. Blow up in the chat.
Gone up 3570,000 now, so Paige is below 10x.
The 10-3 was suited. I can't believe he folded there.
Gets that one through there for Paige, up to 810,000 now. Back to a little over 11 blinds.
They eat small children under the bridge. Those
Makes for a
trolls.
fun chat tonight. Paige looking down at the ladies. The lady of the final table with the queens.
And doesn't look like she's going to jam here.
140.
All right, so she's just going to bump it up to 140.
And guess what?
See what kind of attention that brings to the table. But Mickey in the small blind, he's got ace queen.
Right, Bill? Well, we're going to get it in on this hand. No doubt about it.
Mickey will raise it up.
And great job of Paige setting this up. She set this up like she wanted to, put in a smaller raise.
It says demo is all in. That is not accurate. His ace 9 is in the muck.
Yeah, demo is definitely not all in here. There we go.
All right, so Paige is going to be at risk. Her queens versus the ace queen of Mickey.
Stand up equity is real. Paige standing up. Can she survive?
3, 6, 9, 2 clubs. Another club, ace queen holding the queen of clubs. 7. Diamonds, no help for ace queen. And Paige will get a full double up here. Queens doubling up through Mickey and his ace queen.
Here we go. Paige is going to survive and get the much needed double, and now she's got 1.76 million, just like that. Demo is now our short stack, 600,000. I mean, to be honest, we've seen people on this final table have gotten it in bad 4 or 5 times
Right.
and ended up the winners.
She
So
could have had 3 times as many chips.
she could have
don't
had
know.
4 million by now if she wins all those hands that we're all in a tiffy about.
You'll get it right eventually.
She's going to make the call here.
I've seen pocket eights lose before. Jack 7-4. Paige going to land bottom pair.
Well, and anytime there's a short stack, too, the other players at the table all collude against the short stack, you know, and that's kind of an understood. You're trying to knock players out. Just in this case, you're not trying to knock one player out.
Right.
Like, because there's something else there, you know. But hey, there's always understood collusion at a table. That's why you see 3 people calling all in and check it all the way down.
All right, Mickey picking up some equity here on this turn. He is now open-ended with that ace-6. And he lands a pair.
4-liner.
For the check mark if we go to showdown. Paige will check.
Ding, 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 ding. Bill Burford in the chat.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the pain in the guy's face when he had to make a decision. Mickey here with the check mark. Does go with showdown value, checks it. Doesn't want to see anything crazy. The 6 lands and will take it down. Yeah, so still 4-handed here. Hand 72, so all those guesses around hand 67, 68, and 69 for heads up.
Yeah, we still have a ways to go.
Have come and gone.
87 was the number I think I agreed with. That's just 15 hands away. 4 full orbits, this 4-handed play. Demo's now got the button. It's our short stack, needing to make some moves. Got hot there for a minute. Did some of the heavy lifting himself, knocking out a couple of players.
Paige trying to limp in there with that ace-7.
And Tourney is going to raise her. Look at
Tourney
that.
Bumps it up with a premium ace-queen, raises it up.
Says, honey, I got the best hand. Get out.
Takes it down.
Look at that.
Eight, 5, Jack 3 in the muck. Hand 73 of tonight's final table, the big one. Tourney tries to limp in the small blind and gets it done. Mickey will check his option. We go to a flop. Queen 10 deuce, 2 spades. Bottom pair for Mickey and the only spade. Seven of hearts here on the turn. That'll give Tourney a gut shot. So he's got pair outs and a gut shot. He will lead out here.
How does Mickey feel about his deuce?
Never fun.
Choctaw nuts indeed.
Holding bottom pair when your opponent leads out here on the turn. Jack deuce in the muck. Nice pot for Tourney.
I didn't hear from our man Bart Bogart recently. I know somebody was asking. Mark,
right.
Mark was asking if he had any updates from Dusty Smith out there in Vegas as she was heads up for that ladies event at the Wynn with a 4-1 chip lead. RJ, do some Googling.
We have a winner. Dusty Smith wins the first $3,000 ladies high roller event for $61,000.
$61K for Dusty, fresh off of a second place finish for $290, but she wins the ladies event.
Back-to-back big events for Dusty Smith out in Vegas, winning the high roller ladies event at the Wynn.
Go, girl. Shout out to one of our
Stacking 'em
locals,
up.
Dusty Smith.
That is awesome.
So again, I don't know if you guys texted or tapped your boys or what, but they're actually talking about what you guys were talking about.
The C word?
No. Soft play. Is it legal? Is it illegal? Blah, blah, blah.
Oh.
When you pay $360 for a tournament and you make a final table, you tend to have the ability to play like you like. Whether folks love it or not.
Yeah, there's not a poker room in the world where people don't know each other. And
yeah, you know, collusion being like you got signals, ear, you know,
Yeah.
tapping your ears, tapping your nose, telling your, you know, your honey what you have. That's not what's been happening, but yeah. It's fair to ask, right? When's the last time you've been on a final table where there was two people and
right.
and you knew the money was going home with both of them, you know? It's a weird situation. You know, that's why couples and people a lot of times don't play together at cash tables, right? Because
right. They end up
they're not after each other's money.
They end up upsetting the chat pros.
Yep.
And it's not a fun spot for them to be in.
Yeah, exactly. They aren't chip dumping or sending signals, so there's really nothing illegal.
Yeah.
You just don't. You don't love it. I get it. I get it. You want somebody else to win.
They've been very fair. Man folded eights to let his wife, to not bust his wife. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yep. Yeah, there's, I mean, again, it's soft play versus actual intentional collusion being gross. You know, I get it.
Yeah, some shout outs coming in for Dusty in the chat. That is pretty big league of her. Tournament crusher indeed. Getting the recognition and the prizes she deserves. She's getting it done. Here's Demo on the button with kings.
All right, good luck, Demo.
He will rip it. He's all in for $450,000.
Pocket kings.
Paige in the small blind looking at pocket sixes.
Thank you, Ashley. I agree.
No, sorry.
Great perspective. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions. We're not saying we're right either, but what we've seen tonight is not some sort of blatant, gross, you know, collusion. Two people want to win, and they want all that money going home.
Tourney having to let go of pocket fives here in the big blind, facing two all-ins. 10 deuce 8.
Oh,
five on the turn.
Tony would have hit the 5.
Six
a
on
6
the river. That is
on
a
the
spicy
river.
card for Paige.
Wow. And the kings go down.
And Paige actually has Demo covered here, so that is a 4th place finish for Mr. Demo. Couldn't fade that river.
Friend of the chat, we love Demo. Been on the final table before.
Yep.
Another great run for him. Going to finish in 4th place, take home $3,835. Great job, Demo, finishing 4th out of 205 entries. He did some of the heavy lifting today at the table.
He sure did.
Looked like it was maybe going to be a tournament that was going to go his way for a
Came
minute
in
there.
a little short stack, made a heck of a run, and then 5-handed, 4-handed really hung in there perfectly. And 3,800 prize for him, a very nice prize. Well done.
Yeah, and here you go, guys. We did get word. They're calling the floor right now. We'll let you hear the talking, but it looks like we are going to discuss
the C word. It's happening.
An ICM chop. Yeah, a 3-way chop based on how many chips everybody has. Paige is our short stack at 1.72 million. Mickey is next at 2.68, and Tony is next at 3.82. So if they do an ICM chop, that would be Tony finishing in 1st place, Mickey finishing in 2nd, and Paige in 3rd, and they will figure out how much money that they're going to do accordingly. They are going to get after that. Reminder for those cash players, this month, 9 for 99 specials going on at both of our clubs. You can buy one of those specials every day. It's going to save you $3 an hour, so huge savings this month. Take advantage as those cost did go up this month $1 an hour. So if you do this 9 for $99, like I said, you'll be saving $3 an hour instead of just $2. Load up on those all month long, cash players. And this is what we were going to be playing for, the 15,000 up top, 10,540 for second, and 6,305 for third. And they're going to be talking numbers right now to see.
I think that's a little over 31,000 there.
Do.
Up for grabs here in these final 3 spots.
Hey, and I don't think any of this chat and the discussion of this stuff got nasty or anything whatsoever, guys. I really think everybody's entitled to their opinion. It's a situation that hopefully I'm never in, because I don't want to date a poker player or marry a poker player.
Yeah, I probably don't need that in my life either. I wouldn't wish it upon her.
But these two just happen to be two badasses, and she's made final tables here before, as has Tourney, and they both crushed it today and ended up on a final table together. And guess what? You want to win, and you both can't win, so it's a gross situation. But looks like we are going to get a chop, ICM. So I did get those numbers just in. 3-way chop. It's going to be Paige finishing in third place for $93.90, so just over $9,390. Mickey is going to be our second place finisher, $10,797, so just shy of $11,000. And then first place is going to go to Tourney, $11,955.
There we go. So 9,300 for third place, all the way up to 11,955 for our top prize tonight. Everyone going home with a pretty fat and happy stack of cash.
Absolutely. Really, really nice prize there. So $93.90, $10,797, and then $11,955 for first place.
Well, congratulations to our final 3 tonight. Paige, Mickey, and Tourney. They've played outstanding, by the way, to outlast 205 entries to get to this spot. Played outstanding at the final table and find themselves with a nice prize here on a Saturday night here at the big one.
All right, shout out to everybody. Thanks for engaging in the chat. It was a fun one today. Great tournament. We finished at hand 77. And
hand 77.
Didn't even get to heads up, so the over-under just didn't happen.
We'll see you next week on that one.
Great tournament, and we will see you next week. Tune in on Tuesday.
We'll be here.
6 p.m. We will be here for a fun cash stream. Should be a 5-5 game. It's going to be the party game, the drinkers.
Oh, it's party week.
The fun guys and gals are coming out again on Tuesday night. Tune in for that. It's going to be an absolute blast. We will see y'all on Tuesday. Adios.
All right, good night, chat. Good night, TCH.
Yes, 11,959. And then, like, our other second is 10,797.